3, 2. Welcome to another episode of Progress Always. Mike Anders here with my homegirl, Coach Dar. Oh, as always, it's our intention to help our clients eliminate stress by prioritizing their health and creating alignment. And we're here, I've got just a laundry list of high frequency people that I need to talk to have high frequency conversations with. And Coach Dar, you're towards the top of that list. And I really appreciate you making time and space for this conversation today.
Could not wait to get on. It's like, let's go. We've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to do this with you, and you reached out, and I was like, now we got our schedules to align. So thanks for having me on.
If it wasn't the push from Nicole to get, technologically advanced and create that link so I didn't have to keep, back and forth with calendars, this would have been impossible. I mean, you're working with athletes and business leaders all over the place, and you got 4 sports going right now in the overlap. And so like to say that I'm grateful for the time that you carved out for this is an understatement of understatements.
Anytime.
Yeah. You recently dropped The Art of Bouncing Back for everybody in Progress Always land. If you have not got yourself a copy, it's available on Amazon. Shameless plug for you there, my girl. And I earmarked the hell out of it. I mean, your process, specifically the part about reframing. Mm-hmm. I just dropped a post today about as I approach 40, to all my athletes and veterans out there who were once in their prime, what's the reason that you let it slip? And it is blowing up right now with, reasons and excuses for just not living life at your best. Obviously, your prime is a very relative term, depending on the season of life that you're in. I get it. And still there's still that piece of agency and self-accountability that, for you, there's no reason for you not to be in your prime when it all comes down to it. And I think that a lot of that has to do with identity, mm-hmm. and reframing the season that you're in and your circumstances and all those things. So I want to start there because you did such a great job of creating a framework and a process for reframing, specifically in The Art of Bouncing Back.
So much of reframing is, we sometimes literally put a period where they're intended to be a comma. We shut down something. It's like, oh, that was then, that season's over. And we're literally the ones limiting when it was just a pause. Maybe you had an injury when you're working out. And then that was the thing that took you down this rabbit hole. And you're like, oh, I'm done. That's when I used to be fit. Or it's like, oh, that's when I was at the peak, even in business. But I'm getting to this point where maybe I just ride it differently. And you start to go like, well, I could go in the comfort zone. And so you have to reframe how you're seeing things. Sometimes you're putting a period where they're only intended to be a comma. It was a pause in the path. It was not a stop. It was not a dead end. It's not like that's it and it's final. You get to keep writing your chapters, but you might have called it before the game was even over. So put yourself back in the game, put yourself back in this. And that's a mental switch. That's you saying like, it's time. Let's just re-enter the game here. Let me get back to fitness, business, even personal development. Maybe you've been drifting off a little bit and it's like, just come back, start somewhere again. It's not about doing all things all at once. It's about doing something and choosing to stick with it and building some momentum and success and then build off of that.
So I feel like when you do what we do with who we do it with, there's the perception that we're only working with the exceptions to the rule. Right. So for everybody out there that's not in the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, playing in the World Series right now, how do you take that concept and bring it down to ground for people who aren't quote unquote elite in the way that we most commonly refer to that word being used?
I get fired up about this because everyone has the chance for greatness. You don't have to be a pro in a sport, but you could be a pro in what you do. Do you want to be a pro father? Do you want to be a pro husband? Do you want to be a pro like at just your world? Like you have the chance to be a pro. And by the way, what I'm saying is a standard of excellence. Do you want to have a standard of excellence? Because if you do, it's available to you. And there's an expression, greatness is open to all, but earned by few. You've got to earn it. So I'm literally, my whole world every day is getting people. Yes, I work with some of the most amazing leaders and athletes, but I have some epic people that I work with that have created and built something great because they chose excellence to start. They chose a standard that they wanted to live by. And then they just went after it relentlessly every single day of consistency. Buddy, that's you, by the way. I'm describing you. So, I mean, this really, it's like, I think so often people think that's for them. No, it's for you and I. And that's just a mindset and a standard. Listen, I obviously, for people that end up seeing the video of this, I'm a 5'2" white female, and I am in pro sports of all ethnicities, all colors, and all taller than me. But in my field, I took what I was trained in as an occupational therapist with neuroscience, and I literally just, it was a passion. I started carving away at this, and then I went back to school for business and then carved away at that. And I've been on a relentless pursuit of greatness for myself so that I could help the greats be great. That's open to people. Yes, you have to have your niche and your, education and the things that you want to do. You have to have some background in it, But what I'm saying is I made a choice and you have a chance to make a choice. Do you want to be great in the things you do? And by the way, why do we want a world that the standards are damn low? Like we need people who their standards are here so that we're all raising the bar. Because I know darn well when I'm around you, there's no way I'm walking in anywhere and I get to lower the bar, that you're going to ever let me off the hook, that you're going to let me like anything. Like I know what the standard is, but that's why we're friends, right? That's why we like hanging out with each other. And all of our world are optimizers because we all hold each other to this because we love each other, because we care. And it's like when you care so much for someone, you want them to take care of their health. You want them to take care of their mind. You want them to take care of their body, their spirit, their soul. So this is open to everyone. Do not get confused that this is just for someone. It's for you. Listen.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm genuinely curious for somebody who's in the dark on this whole thing and has led themselves to believe that where they are is as good as it will ever get. I'm more than positive that even at the elite level with these athletes and these leaders that you deal with in your circles, there are people that have that perception, that limiting belief, despite how successful they are from the outside looking in. What is the trigger that allows you to create the opportunity for that reframing to take place? Because I feel like that's the biggest hurdle is the start is the limiting factor. It's not the momentum.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. There usually is a triggering event. Like someone usually comes to me because they're like, they've either hit something hard. There's a pain. They're facing adversity. They're facing a pain. They've hit the wall enough times where they're like, what am I doing? This is insanity. Or they're so inspired by something that they saw and they're like, there's something in here, but I don't know how to unlock it. So it's either pain or inspiration that's moving people to trigger an event. And usually something that triggers them, they come to me and they're like, I'm ready. Because you just get tired enough sometimes where you're like, I mean, even fitness, you know this. It's like you sit there after so many days and you're like, I don't like how I feel. And then you're like, well, I've got to do something about it because no one's coming to take you to the gym or to get you to get up and do a 20-minute workout or like whatever. You have to set that for you. And then the other thing is, man, you've got to see yourself as who you want to become. You've got to get an image so clear in your head of that's the type of person I want to be. That's the type of person I want to show up as, look like. What does it embody to be someone truly fit? And I'm not just saying in a vain way, but I mean really healthy. It takes this, and this. Well, I know what that looks like for me. Then I got to go after this every day.
it's to your point, I've had knee issues for ever and ever and ever. And finally it's to the point where this week I'm getting my knee replaced. It's just time. Right. And, what control the things that you can control. The VA called me today and they're like, hey, we're going to do in-home PT. Let's get that on the books. And I was like, well, actually I own a training facility here in town. Can we do the PT there? Yeah. So I can stay productive.
Absolutely. And
right?
Keep an environment that helps you.
And, her immediate response was, well, it depends on where it's at, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was like, well, I live less than a mile from from headquarters. So if you can make it to my house, there's no doubt that you can make it to our facility. Yeah. And she was like, okay, cool. Give me the address and here we go. So, perfect. I think a lot of what you're talking about and where we need to shift the fixation, right? So I can't do anything about getting this knee replaced, right? It needs to happen. It's time. We've crossed that threshold for me. So instead of being preoccupied with that which I cannot control, I have an opportunity to create an environment that stimulates and allows that momentum to stay in place by having the PT done at the gym as opposed to in my house. Absolutely. Right. So shifting that perspective from that which I cannot control, which drives us crazy, stalls us out, kills our momentum, to, okay, what variables can I manipulate to create an environment or keep me in the mode of positivity and productivity? Where does that go for you?
Well, I think, I just want to say, as you're talking about this is what I hear. I started off the book with embrace the suck. So this fits perfect because it's like, no, yeah, it's not ideal, your knee and all that's going on. And it's flat out sucks. But once you embrace it, you're like, okay, I have to embrace it. I'm dealing with this. I have to get surgery at this point. Great. Now you do it. Now you're like, okay, now that I embrace it, now you could set a plan. What do we do about it? Oh, we're going to get physical therapy. And the other part is you took control and you were an advocate for yourself. So I want to say to everyone, I've been through enough health journals. You have to be the advocate for your well-being. People on the other side are doing the best they can in the frames that they are working from, but they don't know you. They don't know your situation. So you be an advocate and you try to make what works for you. And I also talk about the power of environment. Yeah. Man, you are setting it up where you're going to be training back in the environment, which fuels you, and you could stay productive and also be in community still. So ding, 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 all these things in the art of bouncing back, you're hitting every level to bounce back. And by the way, once you get your knee replaced, oh my gosh, it's going to be happy days. You're going to have no idea that you could have felt this good and wish you did it sooner.
Man, here's hoping, because when I got back from Africa, that's where it all started to come downhill after Kilimanjaro. And for about 6 months there, I was like, you know what? Running's out of the cards. Can't do that. Can't do that anymore. And as time went on, I'm surrounded by all these people, both clients and coaches, who are on a mission, hell bent on self-improvement. And that's exactly what we want at Next Level. And here I am talking myself out of the thing that I need to be doing. So to your point, I made the switch. I made the choice. I'm going to figure this out. And I got back to running. And the paradox is I've had days in the last 2 or 3 months. I've had the surgery on the books for a while now, but I've had days in the last 2, 3 months where it's like, ooh, maybe I don't need it. I'm feeling great, and it'll trend in that direction. And then I'll have a setback. It'll trend in that direction. And then I'll have a setback. And the worst thing I could do would be to not go through with the surgery. And at the same time, what I've proven to myself is that I can still run and get back in the game. Right. So,
Especially
yeah.
hurt.
What's that?
Especially being hurt.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, to your point. So once it's feeling great, I mean, let's go to work, you know?
Yeah. And I just want to say something, because here's the thing. Say running didn't come back or something, you know? There's so many ways to still stay active, even around injury. So I have someone that's, you know, got injured in hockey. So we were doing Pilates, and then they were doing bar. I mean, it's just someone who squats massive weight, doing Pilates and bar, and stay and like still breaking a sweat. Okay. So for everyone listening too, there's so many different avenues to help yourself stay healthy, even around injuries, that if you want to crush it and squat it, because, you know, sometimes like myself, you're driven where it's like that, just mental. It's more, I think, mental. I mean, for sure, physically it works, but when I can't, but then I go to a bar class with the hockey player, and I'm sitting there and I'm dying just along with them. And I'm like, we're laughing because we're like, we're literally not squatting anything here. And these damn 5-pound weights are crushing us. But all to say, there are so many ways to work around things. It's just making an active choice to say, I'm not going to give up on this journey, and to keep putting yourself in the gym, so to speak.
I mean, that's such a common thread in your narrative, and you do such a great job using yourself as a testimonial for the art of bouncing back. What are some of the things that you don't talk about in the book that kept you on point, or, you know, brought you out of those valleys? Because you've got plenty of them, just like we all do. And at any point, you know, your setbacks to set you up for comebacks, as you so put in the book. What set you up for the comeback? Because there are so many illustrations in your book of like reasons to just hang it up and settle. You know, where were those things for you?
Here's the thing. There were points where I literally was like, why am I doing all this? I mean, like right now I have major, all 4 leagues going on. I have clients. I mean, I'm speaking, but I was created to handle this. Like I literally can. But my point was, when I was going through, I had 3 strokes. By my 3rd stroke, I just gotten done touring with the Phoenix Suns as their mental skills coach. My world had hit its stride. Things were going great, and boom, a 3rd stroke sets me back. It's my worst. And I sat there at one point going like, what the hell? And then I thought, why am I doing this? Maybe I should just call it. And I literally said, I think I shared this in the book, where I said to my sister, I'm like, I think I'm going to like go to a beach. I'm going to set up like small shop down there, help the people I need. And she goes, you're crazy. You're going to get down there. It's not even going to be like 3 weeks. And you're going to be going, hey, what about if we did this? What about we help this? Let's grow. She goes, you're literally, you weren't created like that, where you could just sit and do nothing. There's an extra dose of vision and creativity. And when I work with people, I literally find out what makes them, literally their DNA. What's their DNA? Like, how are they wired neurologically? What's their passion? Because I need to understand that. And once I do this assessment and I find out where they are, I just take that and keep making it stronger. In my assessment, I'm off the charts on this creation and vision. So it's like it only goes to 100 and I'm 96, and most are like 50 or 60. So again, I'm fighting my own giftedness, calling, everything, all of it, everything that I'm supposed to do. Why would I fight that when that's what I was how created? So that was me sitting in that moment going, you could fight this all damn day, Dar, but it's going to come back around. And then also, I believe with everything in me, all of us came to serve a mission. Mm-hmm. And if I don't get up to serve the mission I was called, because my life is not about me. It is 1000% not about me. It's about the mission I was called to serve on this earth for as long as I'm allowed to be here. I don't know when my runway ends, but once I realized that, and I was like, okay, just like soldier, this is your mission. I'm on mission. So until I get called off this mission, it's not for me to give up. It is literally not my choice, actually. because I didn't get the gift for me. I got the gift so I could help anyone listening right now and the people that I do. So imagine if I say, I don't want this because I want the comfort zone. I just now shut down the mission of helping people. And that's a selfish world on my end. So no, I'm called to mission. I stay on mission, and all this fuels me to get back up on the mission.
I didn't get this gift for me.
No.
That I want to let you go right here. Where did you come to accept that in yourself? Because I feel like that's the resistance in most people, is looking themselves in the mirror, realizing, that moment where you realize what your superpower is. And I am convinced that along our timeline, at some point, you get a glimpse of what that is, and you either lean into it or you tuck tail and run away from it. Go tell me more.
Listen, for me, it's a calling. Like, it's God for me. It's my faith. It's that, I'm telling you, it was like, and I grew up in a family where I watched my mom have multiple heart surgeries. And she's like, for me, until God calls me out, then I got to get up. So it's a driving force. There's literally something, I can't explain it, that fuels me and fires me up. And it was like, humble yourself. Check your ego at the door. This isn't for you. This is for what you're called to do. Get up and go. And my sister, I remember one day where I just sat there and I was down and I was like, I'm the person that gets people up, but I literally can't get up. And she's like, God did not call you to isolate or go back to old ways. You got to get up. Like, there's people to serve. And I was like, I know, but like, I need help here. And I honestly sat and I prayed about this and I understood it. And it's beyond me. It is an inner fuel that's beyond me that I can't describe, but there's no way I would do this on my own strength, because my human side is like, peace out. Yeah, I would rather sit on the beach. But then I sit and I think about it. Honestly, one, I'm called to this. Two, I would get bored. Like, and Tony Robbins says this, by the way, you could go to all the hotels, all the travel, all the places around the world, and you're going to want to come home. You're going to want to come home to purpose. You're going to want to come home to your bed. You're going to want to come home to like a home cooked meal. And I could tell you, I've been on this book tour and I am so grateful for it. And all the hotels and all the people I've seen, I was so happy when I came home to my own bed and my own place and even my own workout routine, because we all need it. So yeah, no, it's way beyond me. It's something that fuels me, and I can't even explain it, but that's what that superpower is. That's when you get, that's intrinsic motivation beyond all understanding, that it's like this force just drives me. And I really believe this to my core. Like, it's legit non-amalpi. I mean, we're all going to die someday. Like, our runway is going to end. What did you do with your life? Like, what did you do? Did you help the people around you? You don't have to go all over the world, but are you making an impact on the tribe that's around you? That's a mark of greatness. And so, yeah, I don't even know what purpose would be just to get up. What would I be doing every day? I would be serving, watching TV, which is horrible.
I'm in the dark on a lot of stuff as far as the news is concerned. And, thank goodness I have a circle of people that are in the know about current events. And that kind of keeps me in the loop. And at the same time, keeps my consumption of the negativity to a minimum. You reference tribe a lot, your circle, and how you and I cannot get in the same room without leveling each other up. And I want to dive in a little bit on that, because the misconception about this whole audit your circle thing, it's often heard and not intended that in order for you to create momentum and close the gap between where you are now and your aspirational self, you got to cut people loose. That's what people hear, and that's very extreme. And sometimes necessary, for sure. But still, I know the intention is actually, you need to get around people that support that aspirational self, right? And when we all at certain points in time run out of that intrinsic motivation, and that's where the tribe and your circle is so important. And again, going back to what we're doing here, having this conversation is not just for the special ones, but how do you go about helping people curate their circles and quell the toxicity so that their genius can thrive?
I love this. So I want you to imagine you watch everything, generally like optimizers. They watch everything they put in their body, they put around them. Even you just said, like, I'm going to watch what I listen to on TV. So if you're going to watch what you're going to put in your body, fuel-wise food, you're going to watch what you listen to. You damn well better watch the people that are around you, because that is a force that is coming in, either propelling you forward or pulling you back. Here's the reason. It's not because I'm not saying people are bad or good. What I'm saying is they are operating on their own level of development. So if their fears and insecurities are high and you're trying to advance, they're going to hold you back. Not because they're bad people, it's because that's the only place they develop to. So you have to be around people that are developing on higher levels so they could support you. I can't be around certain people that can't catch the vision of where I'm going, because they haven't been there yet. So they need to be able to have seen it and say, Dar, not only have I been there, I could see beyond it and let's go. Versus there's some people that I know that they haven't left their box. So that's all they know how to kind of support me from, which that's sweet and that's nice, but it's not going to help me advance. And again, if I know I'm here to serve others, I take that serious. So if someone hires me to help them, I want to be my absolute best. So that means I have to be careful who I put around me, because I don't want to show up in a not healthy space or not in my most confident self. And it means that I have to watch the people around me. And there is science proven that, honestly, statistically, if you're around C-level players, right, they're going to literally drop you by 18%. So just being in their presence. And then if you're around A-level players, they increase your ability. Example of this is, again, I come in and I'm around you. I am already, my mindset already shifted. I'm already going to elevate. But if we were around someone who's not thinking and the way, like, they're not propelling and maybe they're stuck, that's fine. But if we're around them all day, we're going to come in and shift down potentially. Energy is contagious. It is absolutely contagious. It's left. It's quantum physics. It's what's left in the room. You could feel it when you come in. So again, this is not about knocking anyone. This is not about being toxic about it. This is real neuroscience. And for you to get better, you have to be around people that are on that level or even gone beyond. And when people are around other players that are better, you just show up better. So why wouldn't you want that in all aspects? And here's another thing. You want to have a great marriage? Why are you talking to someone who's been divorced 6 times? Okay. You want to have great finances? Are you going to a broke financial planner? No. So same with mental skills coaching. I mean, you wouldn't come to someone who isn't good in mental skills coaching if they haven't been working on their game and it's not good. So don't put the people in your circle that aren't living in the way that you want to elevate your life to. I mean, it's really easy. And you know what? You say, hey, I love you, but like my inner tribe that I'm going to refuel, I only have so much time. So when I get refueled, it's got to be with the people that I know are holding me to the standard that I want to be held to. I'm clear about that. And then that's it. Because I have limited time when I get to refuel. So I got to plug in with the very few people. And man, they stretch me. They push me. And they hold me.
Yeah.
They hold me accountable.
So here's one for you, right? Because all that sounds awesome. It sounds great. And then when you get it and your tribe, your circle, your people do what they're supposed to do, and they call you on your bullshit, or they put doubt in front of your limiting beliefs. I don't care how evolved you are. That is such a check and a blow to the ego.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? How do you not get pissed at them, or do you allow yourself to get pissed at them for doing their job and then thank them on the back end? Like, how does that go for you?
Oh, I know when I'm getting called out, because I could feel, and I'm gonna go, first of all, I go, oh, Dar, you're getting a little defensive. Okay. That's ego. That's ego. And then it's like, oh, well, this person loves you. They know. I'm not feeling that way, by the way, on a Twitter hater or someone that I don't know. No, I could care less. Like, I've had 3 strokes and I could die any day. You think I'm worried about someone on Twitter? No. Now, the person who calls me out, that loves me, that knows me, ooh, I'm like, damn. And then I sit there and I go, I remember specifically one time I go, I need a minute, because I'm really pissed at what you just said, but I know you're right. I just have to process this, because I don't want to do what you just called me out to do. I don't want to do it, but I have to. So they were like, and you know what? They're like, good. I know you. So go have your, mental talk in your head, and then let's come back and talk about it. And then we're laughing. And I'm like, and to be honest, when you really are trying to, what I call, die to self, like you're really trying to put the ego down, you really have to work on that every day and say, this is someone that loves me. Like, you got it. If you really want to get better, I say, Dar, if you really want to get better, then you got to own this. Because then, you know what? Integrity is a core thing, a core value to me. I'll say, because then all your talk is talk. So I give myself my own, like, oh, really, Dar? So is this talk? Or, are you going to walk this out? And then I'm like, oh, shiz. Because I want people's backstage to meet their front stage. I'm tired of all the baloney of people presenting one way and then they're not that person. So you got to hold yourself to a standard. But yeah, it hurts.
But I want to key in language matters. And I think it's a sign of your evolution, because when you have that interaction, what you just said verbatim was, I need a minute because I'm really pissed at what you just said. When you say something like that, oftentimes what people hear is, you're pissed at me. You're pissed at my words. And I that is a testament to having these high frequency conversations with high frequency people, because the backlash of that comment heard incorrectly, the walls go up in the other direction. And this thing that was supposed to be constructive criticism, now my defenses are up and we're both fucked. So, So when you're doing your job on the other side of this accountability equation and checking the people that you love into and challenging them into a higher and better version of themselves, listen for understanding, be intentional with that interaction, right? Not everything all the time needs to be called out. And at the same time, when you pick your moment, it's important that you acknowledge the strength of the relationship and, on faith alone, believe that something positive will come out on the other end. This is not a deal breaker for us, even though what I'm telling you is painful.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. You would have built trust with the person. So whether I'm the one that's calling it out to help someone or if someone's calling me out, we've established trust. Even players that I work with, like, before I could ever call anything out on them, we would have had to establish major trust. And then the way I often do it is say, so what do you think about the actions that just transpired? What do you think about this? And then they know my look of my, like they know my posturing on it. And they're like, it could be like, what do you mean? And I'll be like, what do you mean? And then we'll laugh and I'll go, I love you. I love you. You asked me to help you be your best right now. This is one of those moments. And I love you. I want you to be better. for you. I want you to want to be better. And just that, it just sets it where it's like, I'm not attacking you. I love you and I'm coming to you to help. And then they're like, so much so that last night I just got a call and someone was calling themselves out. They were literally calling me to call themselves out on something. And I didn't have to say anything. I mean, I just sat there. I was like, this is great, because ultimately you're teaching the person to fish for themselves.
Yeah.
Truly. It's and we just sometimes need to verbalize it and hear it. And that's how you know evolution is happening, that you're evolving and you're enlightening, and that you start to get better, because you're like, I do that to my friend. I go, I'm calling you. This is what I did. This is what happened. This is where I tripped up. And this is what I'm going to do about it. And they're like, great. I was like, okay, so I'm good. And I go off and do my thing. Yeah. Call myself out.
It's funny how that works, right? Because we have every intention of making that phone call for a life preserver, you know, that life raft. Like, there's some guy, I'm calling Coach Dar because there's some guidance that she's going to give me. And as soon as you pick up, I just coach myself.
Yeah.
That's
the beauty of when they finally get the role and kind of what you're teaching them. It's beautiful.
When you're digging yourself out, you know, when you feel stuck, do you have a mantra?
Oh gosh. I mean, there's a lot of things that I say to myself, but and it all depends on the day or the situation. But it's funny, because the other day something happened that was out of my control, but it could have set back some things that I've been putting into motion. And I want to be careful, because there's been so much progress that I don't want to have this like, oh, when I get this progress, there's going to be some hit coming. Like, I don't want to live in that energy. But something started to hit and I was like, are you sugaring me? Like, are the tides going to come back on me right now? And I was like, I literally said to myself, what do you tell everyone? You got 100% bounce back rate. That's what I said. I go, you got 100% bounce back rate. What are you worried about this for? You'll figure it out. And then I just say, I love the expression, no one's coming to save you. And I mean, oftentimes I give my own heart. I'm like, no one's coming to save you. So how are you going to figure this out? Like, get back up. When I was writing this book, I was working all day and night. I mean, they put such a tight, I mean, normally a book could take you 1.5 to 2 years to write. And I had 4 months at first. I finally got 6 months. Like, I've never written a book before and I've had 3 strokes. Okay. I don't even speak correctly. So I was like, and I've never read through a whole book in one sitting. So writing it and editing it. And I just remember my father was sick at the time. He ends up passing while I'm writing this book. So much stuff had gone on. And there were moments truly that I was sitting there going like, I have a deadline. How am I going to do this? And I would write from 12 till 4 in the morning. And I would literally have to sit there. I'd put this app on that helps you with focus. And I'd sit and I'd go, I remember back being in college where I'd have to finish things and I was tired and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? Like, how do I finish this? And it was funny because I was sitting back there going like, no one's coming to help you. You have a goal. And by the way, this is a great opportunity and everything's on the other side of hard. So dig in and get it done and stop complaining. Like, the more you sit there going, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I'm losing hours when I could be sleeping at some point. So you have to you literally have to give your own pep talks. And I love extreme ownership. I mean, yes, you do get life preservers from people and they do help you. That is for sure. But you know, the people that are coming to help you when they see you're trying to help yourself.
Yep. So
yeah, I say a lot of stuff to myself to get up.
That thing right there.
What is that?
That's my book.
Oh, there's also some like.
Oh yeah, no, that's just a mug that I drink beer out of. That's got a Marine Corps stuff on it. I almost shelved that book 3-4 times on the way to writing it. You know, and I got it all the way to the finish line, and I was like, oh, nope, It's not fit for human consumption. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. And you know what I've come to, and where, you know, are the 3-step process for progress always: keep your promises, do hard things, and make yourself proud. And so like that's my mantra. When I get stuck, when I don't want to do things, you know, there's a lot that I'm not good at. This podcast is one of them. But at the same time, I have a goal. And I told you all the reasons why we get to have this conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping a promise right here. And when I get stuck, when I'm like in my shit, not wanting to do things, I catch myself incessantly scrolling, you know, and my feed, as you can imagine, ain't nothing but stoicism and motivation, you know?
Yeah.
And still, I'm wasting time, you know? And I have to break state and remind myself, hey, dude, keep your promise. We got a goal. Let's go. This is not moving the needle.
Yeah.
Do anything. Do anything else. But this ain't it.
I love that you shared that, because everyone listening, you'd be lying if you said you didn't do the same thing and you haven't been in the same damn position. We've all been there. And I said this the other day when I was speaking to a university, and I said, you know what I realized? We all start watching other people's reel, REEL, instead of living our real REAL life. And I'm like, so we're watching their reels, not living our real life. And now we watch theirs instead of living it, making the memories, when we should be the ones with the content, putting up the reel, like living the real life. Like, stop worrying about watching other people's reel and start having a real life. And so as soon as I start getting in that trap where I'm scrolling, I'm like, holy cow, I'm literally watching other people's reels instead of being real, living my own life right now, honing my own skills. Like, so focused on my craft and my people, my community, I just got lost in someone else's world, and it took me away from my world. I'm like, no. You want to be one of the greats? The greats are in the craft. They're not worried about creating the reel. You know what? Their life makes the highlight reel because they've crafted it. They've honed it. So I want everyone to hear that, because that's the talk I gave at the university, but I also have given it to myself, where I was like, stop trying to make the reel by watching other people's reels and then even creating BS. Go be great, and you'll make the highlight reels, and you didn't even have to put them up or even scroll it. It's just up there. I honestly think, I love books so much. Anyone listening, Devin Booker, I love him so much because he's the most real guy. And that guy is not worried about making his own reels. He's worried about living his real life, being the best at what he can, that everyone starts putting up stuff about him. Like, he doesn't have to do it. Everyone else is doing it. So my point being is, you own you, and you live your life in your craft, and everything takes care of itself. Don't waste your time on other people's reels. Now, you get an inspiration. You might need 1, 2, 3, like, oh, stoicism, because it does trigger state. It shifts your state when you see something or hear something. We need, maybe, honestly, realistically, what, 2 minutes of it, and then we're good.
Yep. Now, you know, going back to the whole real life EEL versus real life EAL, where do you sit on people's backstage matching their front stage, right? The highlights of social media versus the crazy, the shit, the nonsense, the nuts, the chaos that's going on. You seem to be pretty transparent in You seem to be pretty transparent in your ability to share what's going on in real time. And still, you're having tremendous positive influence and impact. And I feel like a lot of people, myself included, are timid or scared to share the journey while they're going through the shit, and they're waiting for the highlight at the end. Ooh, so they can talk about that stuff in past tense as opposed to right here, right now.
I love this so much. Here's the thing. I decided the moment I was going to use social, that I was going on there to use my lessons or anything to teach lessons back to people. It was a way to teach. And life is the way that I teach. I'm in the lab of life. So if anything's going on in my world that I could teach from, I'm going to teach from it. But I stay in my wheelhouse. It's around mindset. It's about what's going on. Like I'm not in I can't talk to you about, I don't know, carpentry. I can't literally hammer anything. I mean, I failed wood shop. But my point being, I decided, okay, I also know mental health is real. And the reason people are getting hurt is because what people portray and who they are doesn't match. And that hurts us. And that's what creates mental health problems, because you're getting hurt by people. So I'm here to help people with that. And today, literally this morning, I was on social media walking. I finished my workout. And last night and this morning, I just felt sad. Like literally, people know me. Like it takes a lot for me to cry. I wish almost I cried more. Like people think I don't have emotion, but I do. I'm just so used to helping people. It's almost trained. But last night and this morning, I just like almost it could just weep out of me. Like the tears. I'm just sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like feeling like I could cry. And then all of a sudden I started like tearing up after a workout too. So I drove over to it's a non-denominational church, but they have a gift shop, and there's books that they have in there, and they have this devotional. So to me, that's my refuge. I go and I kind of recenter, it's my spiritual journey. And I was like, I just drove over there, and I drove over and I got this book and I was reading this devotional, and I was walking by and there's this beautiful part of the garden. And I just decided I'm going live on social. I'm going live right now. And I said, do you ever just feel like all of a sudden you're off? And I'm like, last night and this morning, I just felt off. And I go, to be honest, I feel sad. And now everyone sees me as the mental skills coach, right? Resiliency, bounce back. That doesn't mean I'm void of emotion. And I was being as real. And I said, this is what helped me to get recentered here for me. I don't know if that's going to help you. I'm not pushing anything on anyone. I'm just saying, hey, this helped me. I don't know if it's going to help you. But I'm also saying to you, like, do you ever just feel that way where all of a sudden it's like, you're just sad or you're off or you're angry? And this is what came to me. This will be the follow-up video because it only let me do a minute. But my sister is in Connecticut and she's been helping clean out my parents' house. I lost both my parents now. And my childhood home is being cleaned out. Every memory, everything we have is literally going into a dumpster. That has been sitting with me. And it's bubbling up now where I have to process this. It's the real closing of that chapter of my family where I could potentially live half my life without my parents now. And also anything meaningful that was in that house is in a dumpster. What? And then it was like the whole lesson of, do we need anything? Because it's all going in the dumpster anyways. I mean, the whole thing, everything's a lesson in my head. But I'm grieving. I'm grieving the loss right now. And that's what I came to. And that will be the follow-up video. But I just want us to be as real as can be. And I am not in this, like, let's sit in the pity party and all day, every day we're talking about all these things. I think you have to work yourself out of state too. I can't stay in that state because I have people to help. The mission is still the mission. When you were in the military, you could be sad. You still had to follow the mission, or that's life or death. Hello.
Right. Yeah.
Same for us. So yes, I balance it in my world. I don't want to share everything because some of the stuff I want to keep in my own personal life. But yeah, no, I'm putting the fun moments, that I have in life, or sports or travel or being in Italy, my motherland, But then I'm also like, hey, today I just realized, like, I was sad, and I'm probably going to be sad on and off because I'm grieving this loss of my family.
Yeah.
And what that all means. So I feel like people, I just want people. Someone asked me the other day, how do you practice authenticity? I was like, what? You don't practice it. You just do. You are. You just, hello, you show up and be, I don't know how to be anything other. So I don't know.
Yeah. you bring up the military thing, and I've heard more times than I can count, oh, you are the way that you are because of the Marines. I'm like, I know plenty of people that are moving and shaking and doing some pretty incredible shit that have zero affiliation with the military. So that ain't it. And, and I'm sure that there's something said about you that's in the same vein, right? You are who you are and you do what you do at the level that you do it because of X, right? What do you say to that?
It's a choice. I say it's a choice. It's a mindset. It's a mental choice every day to get back up on mission. I don't want to end. It is such a clarity too of core values of what I believe I'm called to. It's clarity. It's clarity of thoughts, clarity of vision, so that I can make choices now that I have a clear vision, and that's what I could stick to. If I don't have a plan and a purpose, it's hard for me to make choices. And so everything looks sparkly and you're like, oh, that's good. Oh, I can help you with this, or we can do that. And now you're off mission and you're not even in your genius zone or your sweet spot. So no, I am not different than anyone else. Come on. I grew up in a small town in Connecticut. Like, hello. I told you I'm 5'2". I'm this little, I don't even know where this spark came from, but I decided I'm not going to live any day just being average, because I was literally told I could die any day. I still could die any day, but everyone could die any day. That's stoicism. We're dying. I don't know when our end date is. I don't want it to be where then I said, damn it, I should have done that. Couldn't I give a little more? Could I have done that? Now, is every day going to be 100%? No. I mean, you're going to be off some days. Are you trying to make progress every day? Hello, that's your whole thing. Yes. But I would rather more of my days being said that I tried rather than I wished I had. And it's a choice. It's a choice. But you have to have clear vision of what that is. So sit down and create a vision of who it is and how you want to show up, and get core values. I mean, align to your core values. Those are your standards of what you hold true to.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect place to end it. I just know, because I know you, what you had to move around to be here today. And I'm grateful for the value that you provided for our audience. Where can everybody get more of Coach Dar?
You go to CoachDar.com, and that has all my social outlets. You can go to Amazon to get my book. You could go on CoachDar.com. I have a newsletter that I put out every week that I put high intention around. That's mental fuel Thursdays. It's not coming in your inbox, but that will give you weekly fuel, mental edge to help you keep going. And then on Instagram is probably the most place that I interact. It's at the Coach Dar. Interact with me there. I put these videos that I talked about today. I'm always putting snippets, things going on. So follow along. Let me pour into you. I call this pay it forward inspiration. I just pay it forward. I pour into others so that it could pour into others.
Love it. Thank you, my dear. For everybody out there, shout out to our sponsors and partners for supporting the show. Check out the show notes for everything that we have going on down there. Remember, if you want progress always, you just got to do 3 things. Keep your promises, do hard things, and make yourself proud. And when you're ready for next level to help you in your journey, we're always available. There's a link to have that conversation as well. See you next time. Progress always.